Welcome to another episode of I worked way too many hours this week and I didn't actually have enough time to play any games except for this mobile game on my phone while on my lunch break at work. So let's just jump into this and let me tell you what I think the game of the year this year should be. So game of the year is a thing, and apparently there's not just one of them, there's a whole bunch of them, and one's already been awarded to Fortnite, and people really seem to want Red Dead Redemption 2 to win one of them. Which, listen, that's fine and all if you're some kind of sheep person who just likes to follow all the popular and current trends, but myself as an intellectual and a free thinker, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong to think that that game is deserving of Game of the Year, because I have a game that is far more deserving of that title. The game in question is of course Brick Breaker, and you might think that's a bit strange because Brick Breaker came out so far in the past that I couldn't even find an exact date on Wikipedia for it, which just goes to show how secret this game really is. Although brief, Wikipedia does do a very good job at explaining what this game is. Basically, you're a paddle that has to hit a ball, and also there's some versions of the game where you can shoot flaming fireballs or play with more than one ball thanks to the ability that is power-ups. Now, let me ask you a question. How many balls does Red Dead Redemption or Fortnite allow you to knock around and break bricks with? And in which of those games are you able to multiply the balls or light them on fire by using power-ups? That's right, none of them offer that ability, which places Brick Breaker leagues ahead as far as any good game goes, and it also has a mobile version, which might have come out in 2018, I couldn't really figure it out, but to be fair, Fortnite did come out in 2018 and it managed to win a Game of the Year award, so really, it seems like anybody's game. Now, as I mentioned before, Fortnite did win one of these awards, and it's a game that has basically no plot at all, and it's just you running around killing people, which is a really bad thing and will probably lead to a really bad influence on our children. To make things even worse, you also kill people in Red Dead Redemption 2, as well as stealing horses, which is just going to lead to overall way more murders, as well as a surge in grand theft horseback theft. Brick Breaker, on the other hand, has no killing of any people in the sort. Instead, the closest you ever get to is destroying some robots sometimes. But even if you don't destroy them, they just come down, and even though it looks like they're going to hit you and maybe break your paddle, they don't. They just hang around and you're able to smash them, which is really training you for something in the future, and let me explain to you what I'm talking about here. Now, it's important to mention that with things like SpaceX and Space Force coming out, I'm probably going to be too old to take part in any of these. But my future children, if raised right, will be the perfect candidate to surf the stars. This is of course an area where Brick Breaker is one of the best games, as the whole game has one slowly scrolling background of the cosmos to keep you entertained. This subconsciously will prep our future space cadets into being used to seeing the dark emptiness that is space. And let's be honest here, by the time that any child born right now is going to be old enough to do anything in this world, the world's already going to have been destroyed and enslaved by robots. So if they aren't some kind of space pilot or related to something in the space field, they're not going to go far in life, unless of course they're just going to be a personal slave to a robot, which isn't a life that's worth living for any of my children. I personally think the Google user here describes the game in the best possible way in this review, where he calls this game a blockbuster and a great game for that 15-minute break that you have at work. Because here's the thing, while I'm at work and I have some time to myself, it's going to take way too long for me to unpack and whip out my PS4 or my PC, plus I don't always have the room for it. But a game like this on my phone takes 2 seconds for me to just whip out, and then I'm able to enjoy some sweet, relaxing Brick Breaker. Now, I have no idea how the Game of the Year awards work, if there's some kind of voting system, or it's just predetermined by whoever gets bribed with the most money. But I do truly believe that this masterpiece is well deserving of one of these many Game of the Year awards that exists, which has really just saturated the meaning of Game of the Year, considering that there's a whole bunch of them out there. And if it doesn't end up getting the publicity that it deserves, well, humanity is clearly doomed, and we're just gonna live on our lives as slaves to robots because nobody ever made their children play this Brick Breaker game and got them prepared to be spacemen. Instead, they're just gonna be human footrests for the robots. That there's another video, and I want to thank you for watching it this far along. If you enjoyed it, leave it a like. If you didn't, you can dislike, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can share, you can do all that stuff. But at the end of the day, I don't care what you do. Just as long as you have yourself a good time, I'm fine. You do you and have a good one. It's probably just Game of the Year for... It's probably just the game that I really... I don't know, I had a joke, but I didn't write it down and I can't remember what it is.